Hello and welcome back to Sage and Stone Tarot. My name is Jennifer and I am back with a very special video, a very special reading. I started doing my elemental readings and I was all prepared to continue to do my elemental readings and some of my zodiac sign readings, love readings, but I have been prompted by my guides to bring out this particular reading and this message. Actually, I had a message, a channeled message. So what I am going to do is, for those who don't want to listen, I'm going to put a timestamp in the comment section for when my reading begins. This particular video is a channeled message from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. I am a twin, and my story spans close to 20 years, but 20 years ago I didn't know about twin flames. And 2 days ago, I woke up with, excuse me, I apologize. When I'm channeling, my throat chakra gets very activated, and I do have some water here, so I might have to take a few sips of water because there's a lot that I want to say. There's a lot that I'm being told to share. But to begin, 2 days ago, I was awoken, or when I woke up with the phrase, "The songbird says, you're my everything." And I didn't know what that was at all whatsoever, but I did write it down because I knew it was a message. I didn't know, but I knew that I just needed to write it down and that I needed to wait. And later that day, when I opened up my YouTube app, there were two songs underneath each other, and I figured out what it was. And the two songs, and I'm going to list those also in the description box below. So if anybody's interested, or you feel that it might be a message for you, then you can see the first song is "Songbird" by Fleetwood Mac, and the other song is "Everything" by Alanis Morissette. So I ended up listening to both of those songs in order, "Songbird" and then "Everything" by Alanis Morissette. And that song by Alanis Morissette happens to be one of my all-time favorite songs from her. I actually have it on, I do have a playlist, a twin flame song list, and it actually kind of documents my twin flame journey through song. And so with that, once I finally figured out what the songs were, I was also instructed, and this happened today because Spirit wouldn't let it go, my guides wouldn't let it go with this message. As I was driving home from work today, I was told to bring out the Ace of Cups and the Temperance card. And so what it is that I did is that I meditated on the cards. I sat with the cards. I journaled about the cards. We often see, for those on the twin flame journey and who listen to readers on YouTube, specifically twin flame readings, are very familiar with the Ace of Cups and the Temperance card, and just in general tarot card readings. These cards come up quite a bit. And what it is, the message that I am being asked to share is first the Temperance card. Now the Temperance card, yes, it is about tempering, it is about balancing, it's also about excuse me, alchemy, mixing the right ingredients to be able to get the result that it is that you're after. But when we go deeper, and I did, the Temperance card rests in the major arcana. The Temperance card rests between the Death card and the Tower card. So when you think about it, that is representative of change, peace, and chaos. So it is also about and brings about grace, peace, wisdom, integration, and also movement, but movement without the loss of self, without losing oneself. It is about calm, and it is about moderation. It also, when you see in this card, I don't know if you can see it, the angel is pouring water in back and forth into one cup, back and forth. What that is representative is moving energy from one area of your life to another area of your life to find the equilibrium and the balance that is needed. The water here, she's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the ground, on the earth. Water is representative of our instincts, our true depth, and our deep-seated feelings and our inner wisdom. With the foot on the earth, that is also staying grounded in reality. We don't want to be so high up in the clouds all the time. So this again is about balance. So the divine masculine, what it is that I sense is that there is a temperance going on. There is a balance. There is a alchemy, moving energy from one area of the divine masculine's life to another area, and moving energy that is stagnant and stuck, and that is no longer serving his higher good, to an area that brings him life and vitality and really starts to delve into the deep emotions and feelings, but at the same time staying grounded. So there is a lot of inner work. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing in our 3D world. Before I go further, when I channel the divine masculine as he, and I channel the divine feminine as she, but it is not gender specific. So you choose, you can figure out who is who in your situation. So then I move on to now that we understand and know about kind of where his energy is at, it then flows into the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, all of the aces and all 4 suits of the tarot, they all represent brand new beginnings, brand new opportunities, and the brand new opportunities that are gifted to us from Spirit, from the divine. The Ace of Cups also it represents the renewal of love and emotion. The pond, there is water under here, and in this is the Crystal Visions Tarot by Jennifer Galasso. But the reading that I'm doing actually is the Radiance Rider-Waite deck. But there is some water. There's a lotus sitting on the water. Now the lotus, of course, represents, if you know, if I'm familiar with the story of the lotus, in order for the lotus to emerge up on top of the water into the sunlight, it has to go through several layers of muddy water to get to here. So the divine masculine really has been, moving through the depths of his dark night of the soul, and this energy, that's the stagnant energy that is being moved from one area of his life to the other area of his life. But also the water here, the pond, it symbolizes the divine masculine is searching for the source or sources that give him the most love, or has him feeling loved and has him feeling joy. And he knows that the divine feminine is where that source of love, that never-ending overflowing source of love resides. And he knows, even if it hasn't been said in the 3D, even if you are not in contact, the divine masculine, even if it's energetically or he hasn't actually verbalized it, the divine masculine knows that love is the only answer. Love is the only thing that is real. And he knows that that source of unconditional love comes from the divine masculine. So these two cards came out of the two song messages that I was when I woke up and I searched for and came to me. I would highly recommend listening to the song Songbird, and then after that listen to Everything by Alanis Morissette, because that will really show what this message represents. So with those messages, I decided to do a reading focusing on the divine masculine, his energy, what is going on in his mental space, what is on his mind, and then what is going on in his heart space, what is going on in how is he feeling inside his heart. And then the last messages that I pulled was union energy, the energy that is flowing between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And when I say union energy, for those of you who are twin flames and on this twin flame journey, know that we are already in union with our twin. We are already in union energetically. This twin flame connection, this twin flame love, if you can think of and understand that this twin flame relationship is all about energy, frequency, and vibration. So energetically, that is why that this bond, that this love is unbreakable. It is not something that can be destroyed. So I started off with, again, I pulled, I am really, really enjoying and really, really connected to my Moonology Oracle card deck. So I pulled 3 moon messages for the divine masculine. What are the energies that are surrounding the divine masculine collective or certain groups? Even if it's just one person, even if this reading resonates with just one, then I was meant to put this out there. I put 3, and then I pulled from the bottom of the deck, and that is like the main message, and I will refer back to these moon messages throughout the reading. So the first message, and I got this with another reading, that I've got this with a lot of readings that I've done recently. It is the balsamic moon, a time for healing. So this resonates with the temperance card. There is a lot of self-healing. There is a lot of balancing. There is a lot of movement of energy. You know, the lower vibrational energies, all of the lower thought forms and belief systems and karmic situations that are in and around the divine masculine's life, and also within him, things that he struggles with, things that keep him bound. The devil card did not come up, but this is what it is that I'm being told to say. There are a lot of things that keep him bound and keep him from moving forward, but the divine masculine is healing. He is taking the time to heal. He is tempering these emotions. He's tempering these feelings. And it really, in knowing that the temperance card in the major arcana sits between the death card and the tower, there is change, there is peace, and then there is chaos. So I feel that this time for healing, what it represents and what is it that I'm feeling that's going on is that the divine masculine, it's almost like there are moments when there are definite aha moments, and then there's definite movement, and he's feeling he's getting these epiphanies and things like that. And the Tower did not come out, but the Death card has come out, and you will see. So there are moments when there is some miraculous healing, and then there's this sense of peace. But then he realizes that there's another layer, so then he starts to feel that chaotic energy all over again. So almost like a pendulum. If you can imagine a pendulum going back and forth, that is the Temperance, that is the cups going back and forth. So the Divine Masculine is taking this time to heal. And one of the things that he is healing, it comes from the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. I feel very strongly that a lot of the Divine Masculine, they don't feel good enough. They haven't felt good enough. They have grown up not feeling good enough. They have been shamed. They have been rejected. They have been abandoned. So the feeling of not being good enough, or not measuring up, or not being man enough, or being told that, men don't cry. These are all of the messages that I am being channeled, and that I am feeling. I envision, the vision that I have right now, what it is that I am envisioning is I see this Divine Masculine sitting near this water on the rocks. If you can envision, like on the rocks at a beach, or on the rocks at a brook, a moving brook. And I envision a Divine Masculine sitting there with his head in his hands, and the tears are just coming down because he is tapping into those feelings, those core wounds of abandonment, those core wounds of shame, those core wounds of rejection, and he is just allowing the tears to flow. I don't see the beach. I see in like a forested area where there is a brook, there is a running brook, and he is sitting on rocks, and the tears are flowing, and he's by himself, and he's just connecting to that hurt and that pain of not feeling good enough. The other thing that he is connecting to that is part of his healing is the new moon in Virgo. So now we have the full moon in Virgo and the new moon in Virgo. So the full moon is representative of completion. It is the culmination and releasing and surrendering. And so once he's doing that, once he's able to do that, we have the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. The Divine Masculine knows that he has taken. The Divine Masculine knows that he has hurt his Divine Feminine. He knows this. And so he is aware that he has taken. So now he knows that he needs to give. And this reminds me of the Six of Pentacles, reciprocity. The Temperance card, balancing things out. The balancing of equal give and take. That's part of the healing. That is part of those deep-seated wounds, those core wounds. And once he is able to get through those core wounds and clear that away, it clears his mind and his heart. And that's when he realizes, it comes to him, this realization comes to him, how much he has taken from his Divine Feminine. So now he knows that he needs to start giving. And with that realization, with all of this healing, we have the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. So there is movement within the collective, the Divine Masculine collective. So the energy, so for some of you, you might be feeling this energetically, you might be feeling this in the 5D. If you are in contact with your twin, you might even feel the communication is gaining momentum. There is movement in the collective. There is movement in the energy between twins. So those are the moon messages. So I might be referring to. So I pulled messages for the divine masculine. What is going on in his mind, in his mental space? What is on his mind? What is it that he is thinking about? So we have the Hermit card. We have the Hermit card. So that fits perfectly with the Temperance card and the time for healing. He is taking the time to go within. He is taking the time to, and there might be some divine masculines who actually have kind of literally gone into hermit mode and kind of in a way isolated themselves. Not isolated in the way of depressing or depression. It's there. I'm sensing and feeling that there's a group out there, a group of divine masculine that literally has gone into hermit mode so that he can just shut off all of the noise, shut off all of the voices, shut off all of the superficial bullshit that goes on in the 3D, so he can gain wisdom and gain knowledge. And what is also on his mind as he is contemplating and as he is taking the time to go within, what also is on his mind is his 10 of Cups, the happily ever after, which goes back to the Ace of Cups, the renewal of love and emotion, and finding and understanding what makes the divine masculines happily ever after, what equals his happily ever after, what does it look like, what does it feel like, what does it sound like, all of those things. And as the divine masculine goes deeper into his emotions, goes in deeper into healing, the Death card comes up. So again, like I said, the energy is gaining momentum. There is healing going on, and there is a definite change. There's a definite transformation and a definite cutting out. Cutting out. And when I say cutting out, the next two messages, I'm sorry, I can't pick this up, that come out is the 9 of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles. And this is how these cards came out. I'm just going to put this in front of the Ace of Cups and the Temperance card. Okay, so I have the 9 of Pentacles, the Death card, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles. The cutting out of the third party, the karmic situations. If it is a karmic partner, that's being cut out. If it is a karmic situation, such as a job or addiction, codependency. I know this is not the Devil card, but this is about change. This is about transformation. This is about cutting out all of those things that need to be cut out, that no longer resonate with our highest good. And when we can cut something out and we can change and transform, that promotes regeneration of an independent, self-sufficient divine masculine. So and this is something that is not going to happen like tomorrow. I don't give any time frames because this is a process, and anybody who has been on this twin flame journey long enough knows that this is just a process. But there are things, like I said, that are going on behind the scenes. These are things that are going on, and if you're not seeing it in your 3D material world, then there's definitely stuff going on energetically, because after the Death card, 9 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles, and this is all in what is on the divine masculine's mind. This is in his mental space, and I'm going to get to the heart space because it does continue into the heart space. But the last card to come out of what is in his mental space, what is on his mind, the Ace of Cups. So these two cards, like I said from the beginning, these were the cards that I was prompted, that I was guided from my guides to put up here to go along with the channeled message, the song message. The songbird says, "You are my everything." And this is the Ace of Cups again. This is on his mind. This is in his mental space. This is a renewal, also a renewal of self-love. This is divinely gifted. This is a gift of spirit. This is a renewal. The dove, the songbird, this is the dove. The songbird says, you are my everything. And to continue, I'm going to leave this up here because this is on the divine masculine's mind, what is in his heart space? In his heart space is you, divine feminine. That is in his heart space. That is what's in his heart. You are in his heart. The songbird. He might be seeing birds. He might be hearing birds, something about birds. Or you might be seeing birds. If you are seeing birds, if you are seeing doves, if you are seeing lovebirds, anything, any kind of birds or bird song, pay attention. So that might be something. The other thing that is in his heart and what he's feeling is the moon card. He is in his heart. Okay. We have the moon card and we have the 5 of Pentacles. So what is laying heavy on his heart is that he is now willing and understanding and feeling and going into the depths of his shadow, into these fears, the subconscious fears. He's taking a chance in going into the shadows, he knows that there are things that have been hidden, and they have been hidden from him because he has been afraid to look at the shadow. He's been afraid to see what's in there. These are where his fears lie, and this is where this healing comes into play. These fears, these things that are in his shadow, part of that is you are good enough. He has not felt good enough. He has not felt, divine feminine, that he deserves this kind of love, this unconditional love that he knows his divine feminine is the only one that has gifted him this unconditional love. He knows that this is a gift. And this message from the full moon in Virgo, that you are good enough, he, for so many years in mostly of his whole life, probably not feeling good enough, he is now stepping into the shadows, 5 of Pentacles, and facing that feeling of being left out in the cold. These are fears. These are fears. And at the same time, the other messages that I'm getting is that the divine masculine in his heart, what has been on his heart is that he knows that because he has taken so much and there hasn't been reciprocity, he knows that he has made his divine feminine feel left out in the cold. He has made his divine feminine feel left out in the cold due to a third party situation. Here again we have the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles. So what has been laying on his heart, is that he is facing his fears. He is facing the truth. He's going into the shadow and facing that fear of not being good enough, but also knowing that because he's doing this, again, I'm going to say it, because he's doing this shadow work and facing his fears, he also knows that his behavior and his actions has had his divine feminine feeling left out in the cold. And this has to do with, at least for a group of people, for a group of the collective, it has to do with a third party situation, because the 3 of Cups. And he knows that he has had to make a decision, that he has been at a crossroads, and that the decision needs to be made, and it is a decision that is being made. And as he does this, as he is contemplating, as he is going within and healing, the 8 of Swords, he is unraveling the self-imposed prisons that he has created through belief systems, lower energies, lower vibrations, all of the belief systems and thoughts and ideas that has kept him prisoner, all of the thoughts and ideas and feelings and emotion that has kept him bound in his heart. The Eight of Swords is representative of self-created prisons of the mind, self-created prisons of the heart, and self-created prisons of the soul. I know the swords have everything to do with our intellect and our thought process, but what I see and what I pick up is that this woman, she is tied up and bound and blindfolded. So this is, to me, and she's surrounded by swords, and the thing is about this card is that she can get out of this anytime she wants. And so the divine masculine, he is unraveling all of these thought forms. And the thing is that we got the Eight of Wands, and through this healing, he is getting a lot of really fast-moving information. He's getting a lot of communication through his spirit team, connecting to source, whatever that might look like for your divine masculine. There's a lot of information that is now being poured into him, into his mind and into his heart and into his spirit. And so this is where the Ten of Swords, he knows that this ending, this crossroads, is going to cause a very painful ending, but it's something that he knows on a very deep soul level that it has to be done in order for his soul to develop and grow and expand, in order to make things right, in order to be able to put balance back within this connection, the time to give rather than take. Things must end. Things must die away completely. So those are the things that are going on in the divine masculine's heart space. So what is going on in the union energy, the energy flow between the divine masculine and the divine feminine? So the first two cards to come out, the Magician card and the Ten of Pentacles. There is manifesting going on. There is a lot of manifestation. There's a lot of movement. I said that I felt movement. So energetically between twins, there is a group in the collective that this is being manifested. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is being manifested. The Four of Pentacles in the union energy. The Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Four of Pentacles in regards to the twin flames, in regards to the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and the union energy, the energy flow. I've gotten this card a lot, and what it means to me and how it is that I feel and interpret it is that both the divine masculine and the divine feminine, they're not letting go. They're not letting go. There is clear truth coming forth. There's a lot of truth coming to light. With the Queen of Swords, what it is that I am picking up within this energy flow is that the divine feminine has become very clear as to what it is the divine feminine will tolerate and will no longer tolerate, has put very, very strong boundaries into place because the divine masculine, because of the imbalance between this connection for so long, the divine feminine has been through a lot, and there's a lot of truth that has come forth. But at the same time, see, the Queen of Swords, I am very much aware that in the tarot, the Queen of Swords is looked at as out of the four queens, that she's the badass, that she is the bitch. But the thing is that the Queen of Swords does have a very compassionate heart. The shadow aspect is very cold, and guarded. But this is not what it is that I'm picking up. What it is that I'm picking up is that divine feminine does have a very compassionate and very loving heart, and the divine that she is not letting go of her divine masculine, but at the same time, she is not putting up with any more bullshit. Period. Done. This is the way things are. And if you cannot respect that, then I'm just going to have to walk away. See, the thing is that even though the twin flame connection is unbreakable, in the 3D world, in our 3D life, you can walk away from that human person. You can definitely turn your back and walk away, especially if you are in an abusive situation, and that is never acceptable. It doesn't matter, twin, soulmate, it doesn't matter what the connection is. Abuse is never acceptable. Period. Done. But in this reading, the way it is that I am interpreting it and the things that I am feeling, or how it is that I'm feeling, or the energy that I'm feeling, is that the divine feminine is not letting go of her divine masculine, but she has definitely laid down the law and has allowed the divine masculine know, or has let the divine masculine know what she will and will not tolerate anymore. And so in the union energy, the last two cards to come up is the Emperor. Divine masculine is right there. The divine masculine is here. And when I look at the Three of Wands is still within the twin flame union energy between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This is a card representing waiting for your ships to come in. And so there is still, like I said, this is a process. There is movement. There is definite movement. The energy is gaining momentum. The divine masculine is doing the work. And so it's just going to take some more time. I know that those who are on a twin flame journey get really sick and tired of hearing about patience and waiting. It's a process. But just remember the Temperance card. It is all about moving energy. It is about balancing. It is the card that rests between the Death card and the Tower card. So there is change. And with change, there comes peace. And then there's chaos, because it's a pendulum. So this is the messages. This is what I have been guided to share. And if you liked this reading, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notification bell so you can be notified of new videos when I upload new videos. Because these twin flame readings, I will be doing these readings. I can't guarantee that it's going to be once a week. These are the kind of readings that I am guided by my guides to share. So when it is that I am guided and when it is that I am told to share, that is when I am going to put out the twin flame readings. But I thank you, I appreciate you, and I send you so much love and so much peace. And until next time,